indeed. Welcome to the Edward Fowler Show here on YouTube. Now, we had some technical difficulties at the beginning tonight. Unfortunately, this episode is not airing live, which we apologize for, but I'm delighted to welcome on a football player, American football player from the Tampa Bay Vipers from the XFL. It's D. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Edward. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastically well, and it's great to have you on the show because, XFL is a great thing. I love the XFL. I hope you like my Vince McMahon impersonation there. If you still have his phone number, make sure you tell him that, okay? That I can do a better XFL.
I'll slide his DMs and tell him and show him.
Yeah, make it so much like, yeah, there we go. I like it. Tell us about how you got involved with the XFL and being drafted to the Tampa Bay Vipers. What a great team that was.
Oh man, it was a blessing, to be honest. I was still in Denver, Colorado, and I went to a couple of their summer showcases, just to compete against other teams, because at the time I was an NFL free agent. I didn't have a team. And, Vince McMahon and his team reached out to me and asked if I wanted to have a shot to play in the SFL. And I told them yes, and they asked if I was healthy and ready to go, and I said yes. And, they picked me second overall. So.
Yeah. Well, second overall is quite good. You made a good impression to Vince McMahon and to Oliver Luck and all these other people who else worked in the in that side of thing of picking the people. And were you notified at the time, just before the draft, or did you know 2 or 3 years in advance that you were going to be in the XFL, or was it like a last minute thing?
It was kind of like a last minute thing because I was still, had a chance to get picked up by an NFL team. And so we were kind of still waiting on that call. And, then the draft happened. And then we were like, okay, let's see what happens with the SFL. Let's see if you get drafted. And if you do, we'll approach that problem when it comes, but the opportunity when it comes. And, we're waiting around. And I just got the call. And it was a blessing. It was a blessing.
Yeah, well, I want to say thank you to everybody from the XFL for drafting Mr. D here, because he's an excellent player. But I have to say though, I did feel sorry. I tuned into the opening weekend and the weekend after that to see how the Vipers may adapt, because of course you were playing not at home. I believe it was for the first week, and I think you played away the second week. I could be wrong, and I think the third week you played at home. But I mean, for the first 2 weeks, it felt like you didn't really know how to compete with your team against the home team crowd and the home team, of course. And did you feel the same way about that?
Yeah, well, we knew it was going to be a tough start of the season. We were the only team that had to travel as many miles as we did for the first 2 weeks. The first week we went to New York, then came back and had a shorter week, 2 or 3 days home, and then we flew to Seattle, which is over 5,000 miles. And we knew going in that was going to be tough, and we didn't make any excuses. We didn't say, we didn't feel any sorry for ourselves, anything. We went through practice, we grounded out, played, and we stood together and did what we could do,
Yeah, and eventually you guys did get the momentum behind you, and you did eventually get some points, which you needed, because you might be the only team in the XFL to get no points, and that would not be very good, because there was a lot of talk, wasn't there?
That would not be. But I will say this. Say this. Even though we didn't score any points, and I'm not the type, to point any fingers on any other side of the ball, or because at the end of the day we're all still a team. But I'm very prideful to say that we were the best. We were, like, as far as stats go, we had the best defense in the SFL, and that goes without saying. I mean, our defense were tenacious, we were nasty, we were hitters, we all ran to the ball. Like, we were just, and that was just a positive we took from it. The first half of the season, we had the best defense. So
yeah, you did. You did have best defense. I have to say you did, because most of the teams you played away and at home, they found it challenging to get past you and to score some points. So I'll give you credit there, because defense were better than the offense, I have to say, because there's a lot of talk on the offense team with the quarterback and some of the kickers and other players on the offense, and I think the pressure got to them, and it cost you guys crucial points in the first few weeks of the season. And then when I thought you guys were picking up the pace and getting things together, we got the news that the season was going to be suspended, but there's rumors that it was going to be played behind closed door, but that quickly changed, and then it went from season being suspended to then all operations being suspended as of last Friday. And then this past Monday, about an hour after I finished my other show with my other guest, with Cameron Tran, on Monday night, it was announced that they are now filed bankruptcy this past Monday. And then what was that for you when you found out that news? Did you get told before it was announced, or did you get told like everybody else did?
Well, it was a shock to us, myself included, and the players. We all, thought that we at least had another season to, prove ourselves and, go about it that way and still play on this platform. And, they sent out, they were very respectful on how they went about doing it. They sent the memo to the players and staff and, apologized and, really wished that things were different, with everything. But they decided to, they made that decision, and they wished us, good luck in our future endeavors. And I mean, that's all they really could have done,
Yeah. Well, that's nice thing. At least they didn't just say, just wait like everybody else just did. At least they let you know beforehand, before announcing it, before it was announced by the media. So that's a good thing. Because sometimes some companies just fold without any explanation, and then you get told like everybody else does. So that's a good thing. That's one thing I like about the XFL. Because many people do criticize Vince McMahon and other people for firing people and because of what's happening. But at least he did. At least he apologized, and he let you know why, I'm hoping, as well, why he had to do it. But I mean, apart from that, though, I mean, I'm sure we'll see you back in the NFL soon as well. And I know on Twitter and on Instagram, I announced this on my Instagram story this past weekend that you're going to be on my show, because we spoke on Saturday, and I announced it, I think, on Monday, wasn't it? I think it was. Or Tuesday, I can't remember what day I announced it on publicly. But I had some celebs get in contact with me. I had this guy called Jim, who was the general manager of the New York Mets a few years ago. He's now a Major League Baseball analyst on the network, and he saw your story. So did a guy called Limitus as well, goes by the name of Jay.
Jay, yeah.
Yeah, do you know who he is? Have you heard of him?
Yeah, definitely Limitless, for sure.
Okay, I don't know who he is, but I know he is quite an important figure, because I've seen some of his posts. I was interested, I was intrigued by who he is and why he's so interested in my stories in the past few weeks. So I went on his profile and I kind of stalked his profile. Okay, and I see that he's quite an important person, because he's been a ringside for the Tyson Wilder fight as well, and he's met Vince McMahon, he's met Dana White, people like that. I'm thinking, what did this guy do? I don't have a clue, but I would love to bring him on the show at some point, asking me these questions. But I mean, they saw your story, and even a UFC fighter as well, Alexander as well. He saw your story. I bet it was quite cool. Have you met the great, as he goes by on Instagram, Alexander Hernandez?
Wow, no, I haven't met him before. I have trained with a lot of UFC guys, but I haven't met him before though. Wow, that's nice. That's nice.
It is. Well, hopefully you get to meet him one day, and then introduce you guys. Hopefully, maybe for your UFC buddies, they might be able to help you. But I do know that on your Instagram, you're being followed by Titus O'Neil as well from. Did you work with him in football? Because he did play football at the University of Florida, I believe, as he did mention on the for the Gators on the WWE. Did you bump into him down there in the Gators, or was he come to a game or something? How you met?
Oh, definitely. Titus was always around. Whenever he could. He was a busy guy, and I gotta say, like, I'm extremely impressed with him and his character and his story. He shared with us a lot of things that he's gone through in his personal life, and he quickly became one of my heroes. Just hearing his story, it was a lot of kind of very similar, a lot of similarities between us two, and he's a great guy, and he continues to give back to his community, and just such a positive guy, and a really hard worker and of his, and he was another guy. A couple of my old teammates when I used to play for the NFL came out to the game and showed their support, and a lot of friends and families they're doing pretty well right now, and various of industries. Like I said, it was definitely fun, and we had our moments where we met some amazing people and some amazing figures in our society, and I wouldn't do anything to take that away. So
yeah, well, it's good to see that people coming from all sports are coming out to support the XFL. Again, if people don't know what the XFL stands for, it's meant to be called, I believe, the Extra Fun League is what it's meant to call, but many people think it's called the Extreme Football League. I don't know, if you know that from the first time around back in 2001 when we had matches. But I mean, what were some of your fondest moments then from the XFL, playing for the Tampa Bay Vipers? Because did you have a particular team you wanted to play for before you got drafted to the Tampa Bay?
I don't want to answer that.
Okay, that's fine.
But no, that's fine. I mean, well, I will say this. I've always wanted to, live in Seattle, Washington.
Right.
But coming to Tampa was just as good, So if I had to pick another team that I really kind of wanted to go to, is probably Seattle, and that's for no other reason other than the city being amazing. One of my favorite moments that one of my favorite moments I've experienced since playing for the SFL is, after a win, we get to chug beers. So I really enjoyed that. I'm a big beer guy. I love my beers on the weekends and whenever I get the chance to. And I've never got a chance to drink in that way right after a game, and that was fun. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and that's what Emmett has shared on my Instagram story today to hype up our appearance today. Because now, unfortunately, due to some technical difficulties on my side, we're not live right now, but this is premiering on YouTube as we speak. So we apologize for that. I will fix it for my next interview. I don't know what happened. My software updated right before this interview, so I thought it was running fine, and then I'm now getting all these errors across the bottom of my screen. So I apologize for that. For anyone who wanted to watch this live, because I wanted to do it live, because I'm a live person. My guest D here, he's also a live person because he likes to do it live, one cut, no edits. That's what I do. But apologies for that. For anyone who may be thinking, why is it not live? Now you know why. But I mean, you and Steve Austin will get on fantastically well because you two, he loves beer, you love beer. Who else do you know who loves beer? Outside of the XFL, then who else do you know who loves beer?
Outside the XFL, I'm gonna say who else loves beer.
Who you know as well? Who you've met up in the past and love to have a good old beer down the local bar. To chill out.
All right. So I've I wouldn't say beer, but I have had a few drinks with Dan Bilzerian. He's another guy that loves beer. I would say Chris Young loves beer.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris Young really loves beer. Yeah, he's a lot of fun. I spent a lot of good time with him when I used to live in Nashville. I used to randomly see him out, and I walk over there, tell him I love his music, and ever since then, like we, started drinking together a lot of the times, and that was a lot of fun. That was one of my favorite memories. And Dan Bilzerian and Chris Young, I would have to say those two love any type of beer or whiskey that you can give those guys.
Wow. And what is your favorite alcoholic drink then? Because I like fruit cider. Because I can't drink just normal beer. It's got no taste for me and just tastes disgusting. So I need something with a taste, and fruit cider and dark fruit are the two I can actually drink because they just got a good taste. But I mean, what's your go-to?
Oh, I'll hook you up, man. My go-to is tequila and tonic with just a splash of pineapple. It's just to take that edge off the tequila. Yeah. And my favorite tequilas will probably have to be Casamigos. I don't know if you ever heard of it. It's George Clooney went over to Mexico and perfected this tequila formula, and I've been in love with it ever since it was announced in Denver at the time when I first tried it.
Yeah, interesting. Well, I've not had that drink. I didn't know George Clooney actually made a drink.
So, yeah, he did, man. Go check it out. But you gotta add a splash of pineapple. It's just to take the edge off of it.
Yes,
you know?
Because I've had the shots and they are disgusting as hell. But I mean, if you add in pineapple to it, that must be much better. So if he's recommending it, then I'm gonna say it.
Try it out. I'm just here dropping dimes for you. Giving you tips. Anything. Take that edge off.
Most definitely. And all of you out there, if you've never heard that story before, go and try it yourselves as well. Let us know. Use it and tag us on Instagram because we'll love to see your shots because you can do it at home now as well, by the way. So do it at home. Let us know.
Yeah, do it. Tequila tonic with a splash of pineapple. Tag us on Instagram. I would love to see. I would love to see you guys and connect with you guys on that level.
Indeed. And I'm going to do it at some point. Don't know when, but I will definitely do it. I will promise you that. I will promise you that, and I'll tag you to it, okay? And see my reaction to it, if I like it or not. We'll find out.
Hey, I'm excited, man. I'm excited.
Me too. And now as well, when we were talking off the air as we were trying to go live to see him do the show, you're mentioning how you were going to come to the UK to live here for a few months to London, our capital city, of course, right, not near where I am, of course, I'm up in the north. But, I mean, hopefully you get the opportunity to come and live over here and see what we do, because we're very passionate people over here in the UK, because we love our sports, don't you? We love our sports. We're out of control.
To say the least. I went over to London for the very first time when I played for the Colts back in 2016. We were playing Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't know if you guys remember that game, but it was such a great experience for me because I've got the chance to play on Wembley Stadium, and that's how you pronounce it, right?
Yeah, you're correct. Yeah,
I got the chance to play in Wembley Stadium, and just being in that environment and being engulfed in you guys' culture. I mean, you guys are passionate, loud, and it was the weirdest thing looking up into the stands and seeing every single NFL game, team, and just different jerseys of every different teams. Instead of just seeing, the home team and away, we saw jerseys of every team in NFL, and you guys were loud, screaming at every play. It doesn't matter. It was just, man, it was just such an experience, and I got a chance to experience the nightlife a little bit while I was there. I went down to Soho, London, and lost my mind. Yeah, was engulfed in that culture as well. So it was it was a win-win for it all. Just had a great time, and ever since then I just never got a chance to experience anything like it, and kind of want to go back and see if I can relive that moment.
Yeah, most definitely, and I'm glad you got the opportunity to come over and not only just to visit some landmarks as well over, but you get to see play in Wembley Stadium. Not many people can say they played in Wembley Stadium. The home of the England soccer national team, so that's good news for that. But I mean, speaking of the NFL as well, do you still keep track of what's going on in the NFL as well?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like I said before, that's the goal. That always will be the goal
to get back into the NFL, isn't it? Because that's the National Football League. That's the main game. Yeah,
it is, and I know the type of player I am, and I know, I still have a lot of football left, and I still want to showcase that to, you guys and, my family, and I still have a lot to prove, and I still have a chip on my shoulder, and I just can't wait to get back to it,
Yeah, well, we can't wait. We can't wait to see you back in the NFL. It's going to be great, and, because my favorite team, I'm going to be a bit biased now, so you might boo me because, again, you play for the Colts and some of the great teams, from... I think from 2015, I think, to 2017 or 2018. Could be wrong. You can correct me about that. But my favorite team is the Las Vegas Raiders, formerly known as the Oakland Raiders.
Oh, man.
There you go. There we go. Be careful what you say, because you might end up playing for them. You never know.
Yeah,
be careful what you say.
Yeah, I got to tread with caution, but as you know, I played with the Broncos, and we're not. I keep saying we, like I'm still part of the Broncos, but we weren't they weren't the best fans, to the Raiders, and vice versa. It was always a battle when we played them, and it's a rivalry, as you know, and it's a very fun rivalry, one of the best in professional football. And yeah, like I said, Raiders are the Raiders. they get pretty wild. Their fan base is crazy for sure.
That's why I fit in perfectly, because we are wild over here. So that's why I picked them, because because they are wild. So that's why I picked them. I scouted the teams, okay, and I thought that's the team
I tell you what, they're when they played in Oakland, their DJ, man, shout out to the DJ, he had it rocking. I mean, between every play, the DJ would be on the jumbotron, just spinning his tracks, and they'll probably be vibing out to Too Short, like some old school California rapper, and everyone's just going crazy. It was a great environment to play in, definitely.
Yeah. Well, it's a shame that they've left Oakland, because I thought Oakland was a great place for the Raiders. They've spent so many incredible years there, because they did leave. They went to experience Los Angeles, didn't like it, returned back. We'll see what happens this time, but I think the name is much more catchier than Oakland Raiders. Las Vegas Raider. It's simpler, easier to say. It's faster, comes off the top of your tongue easier. The Oakland Raiders, it's a bit longer. Las Vegas Raiders.
No.
So there we go. But so the NFL draft is coming up, of course, this coming next Thursday, the 23rd of April through to the 25th or 6th, I think it is. The 3-day event, which finishes at 3 p.m. Our time, which will be the final day of it, which is going to be live on Sky Sports here in the UK. But is there any breakout stars you've been keeping an eye on who you may think might get into the NFL draft? Because there's some rumors going around that some of the players from the XFL might be drafted as well. So could that be a possibility in that as well?
I really can't speak on the process of the draft right now, especially with the beer bug going on, and
yeah.
I know that it's just you just never know how it's gonna go, and I haven't really been keeping up with college football that much. I'll be honest, but I'm hoping that everyone gets at least a shot. Especially with how crazy 2020 has already been, and they're already at a disadvantage. Because they had to completely shut off training, and agents had to pull all their guys, so they weren't training like I was or any of the guys previously. So I'm hoping that they'll get a shot and they'll get brought up to speed as quickly as possible. So if football resumes this year, we can have a lot of talent out there and pick up where we left off of as being the best sport to watch in America. So
yeah, for over 50 years of the NFL, of the Super Bowl anyway. They call it the biggest event of the year, and but when the NFL draft happens next Thursday, it'll be totally, for the first time ever, virtual because of what's happening around the world. But I want to know as well then, so it means, for players wanting to train and, prepare for the upcoming season, how could they do that without actually going to, to the facility of the football team, able to train with the other players? How do you do it? How would you train? Because you got to train as well in case you get a call up for the NFL or for another team. And how do people do it? How do they do it?
Well, see, that's what it goes back to me saying that, a lot of the guys already inside of the NFL have a huge advantage over the guys who are not in the NFL yet, because, if you're in the NFL, you're on teams with guys that have, a lot of money, and comes with that, these guys have big places, and they typically have their own gyms or their own way of, working out that's completely different in the facility. But, you take a college kid coming out of college, he's not going to have any way to train safely, and remain healthy as he's doing it, and it's really a shame. And what I'm doing right now is, I hit up a couple of my teammates. We go over to their house. We pay a trainer, and he works us out privately, but one by one. So we are not exposed to the beer bug and everything. So we're still remaining safe, but it's really difficult for collegiate athletes to approach that in that same way.
Most definitely, and as well. So say like I'm guessing coaches and people be like that will be keeping in touch with them, because over here in the soccer world, they're having video conferences, they're having video conferences every single day with the coaching staff, with the manager, to make sure that they are continuing doing what they're meant to be doing if they were in person, if that makes sense. So means how are you keeping fit then outside of your training with your trainer and the other colleagues? Are you still dieting, which you're meant to be doing now? We speak to a lot of people on the show, and they always say that they always have a cheap day a week. So like one day a week they eat nothing but fat food, or I don't know the correct term now, but I'm going to use that word. Do you do that as well, or do you constantly on a diet every single day, 365 days a year?
Man, every day is a cheat day for me, man. I'm just messing. No, my regiment. I train for 4 days a week in a gym, and I run 2 to 3 times, and I do my recovery on the Saturday. So I kind of structure, my regiment kind of like if I was in the NFL going through, OTAs, which are organized team activities, and I just make sure I stay on that every week. And of course, like right after the SFL season, I gave myself like a 2 to 3 week break, and just give my body time to recover, from the nicks and knacks of playing football again. So, yeah, my regimen is, like I said, is working out 4 days a week, dieting. Make sure dieting is hard because we don't really have chefs that can really cook for us. So I'm having to cook for myself, and man, let me tell you, I am god awful at cooking. I burn toast. It's ridiculous. So, that's something I've been trying to learn how to do. I bought an air fryer.
Oh yeah.
And that's been good. But it's like I said, it's been a process. So
have you been watching Gordon Ramsay's tutorials on TV and YouTube to help you to get better at some recipes? Because I know he's very famous in America over there on Fox with his own Hell's MasterChef USA, and I think he does Hell's Kitchen USA. I could be wrong about that program, but I know he does MasterChef USA. I know he's quite famous over there. But have you been watching some of his tutorials to try and help you to get better at cooking?
See, that's a good tip. I need to actually do that. Like that, I need to go look up YouTube videos and things like that, just based on cooking. But I'm like so stubborn. I'm like the type that needs to like trial and error things. Burn it. Oh, what did I do wrong? And learn from that. And it's kind of really difficult for me to learn like things that I'm not really or don't really understand to watch on watch someone else do.
Yeah.
But I just gotta have the patience. I like with anything new that you're trying to learn, you just gotta have patience. Oh well, I will say this though. Another thing I've been learning how to do is rollerblade. I just bought my first set of roller skates and super excited, man. I got those yesterday, so I've been watching tutorials on that for sure.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I'm gonna say don't fall off them and break something. That's all we need. We don't need to be out of action for months.
That's like the worst thing that could happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I'm watching tutorials. I need to be watching tutorials on food when I'm over here watching tutorials on like skating.
Yeah. Well, it's a hobby, something to do. Are you gonna be doing it in your house then? Rollerblading around your house, then? Are you gonna be going A to B in about 5 seconds instead of like maybe 10 seconds, 25 seconds to go to a place? You're gonna be going around your house.
Well, I'll tell you that my house is not that big.
Well, to me, with your lovely background and everything, it looks like it could be a nice, decent house. So I'm proud of that. But I mean, that's just the impression I've got. Because it looks like a lovely house you've got there. I don't know whereabouts you are sat in your house, but it's lovely.
I appreciate that, but I have like this little island right here. Maybe I can like make some like DIY skating rink or something and just kind of skate around it in circles, like do laps, I guess.
Well, there's somebody doing that in the back garden. There's a war veteran, and you may have seen the story. It made it in the US now. A war veteran, at 99 years old, he's done 100 laps just before his 100th birthday to make money for the NHS, and he was only meant to. He wanted to get about £1,000, from people just to make £1,000, and he's actually got £14 million now, just by doing laps in his garden. So maybe you could do 100 laps, maybe in your garden if you've got a garden or somewhere, on your roller skates for your first. Just an idea.
You are dropping dimes on me, man. Like you're dropping all the cooking, Gordon Ramsay tutorial. You're dropping dimes on me, man. I need to go get a notebook for this interview.
That's
awesome.
This is why I bring on the best people, and you're one of these best people. And this is a entertaining show. Again, people think I just bring on loads of people who are just in sports. No, we bring on people who are entertaining, and this person, D here, is a very entertaining person. And you should try some of these ideas out. If you did these on Instagram live or something, I think you would be getting instant views. Maybe you might even get what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of it now. Where so many people watch you, and then you go viral. That's what I'm looking for. You go viral, and imagine. Just by doing your cooking videos, or by doing laps in your roller skates. Imagine.
Hey, right? That's what I'm saying, man. I need to do that, dude. You have some great ideas. That's something I probably need to bring up to my marketing team, and maybe that can be another strategy we can implement and grow my business. So
there you go. There we go. It's all about growing businesses here today. And I also want to say as well, please do plug your business and where they can find you on social media as well, because throughout the show, we have been showing your social media on the screen, and for anyone who maybe just listening to this, not actually watching it, where can they find your business and your social medias?
Oh, definitely. I'll leave a link, but before I do that, I just rebranded and completely built up a new website and a new look for my company, and that's mountupmedia.com. And it's starting to gain some traction here in Tampa Bay. Recently just expanded over to real estate, as I told you earlier, and looking at expanding some more industries. By the end of the fall, and it's nervous. It's taking up a lot of time, but it's good. It's keeping me busy, and it's keeping my my head on straight. Keeping me focused on the things I want to get done and my goals. So.
Yeah. Well, I bet it's very exciting as well to be able to go into other endeavors and go into other businesses and see what you can try and do in those businesses, because you're going to, as you said before, you're going into like home agencies now as well, which is quite cool, into property management. Again, there's a TV show over here in the UK called Homes Under the Hammer, where they go into auctions and they follow people who buy houses and then do them up, and then they either sell them on, or they rent them out, or they even live in them. So it's going to be interesting to see what you do, and I hope that you may keep a record or something like that. Maybe do a vlog. I don't see many people doing like a Homes Under the Hammer business on YouTube as of yet. I could be wrong. If I am wrong, please show me. But again, about idea, I don't know, Justin. Again, you don't have to take that one on board either.
Hey, check it out. Hey, I don't want to drop any tidbits, but I'm actually may or may not be starting a documentary on how I balance football life and my media company. May or may not be. Not be.
If you choose to do so, then that would be a great documentary, and I would love to tune into that if you did decide to make one, and where you dropped it on as well. But I mean, if you did make one, a load of people, including myself, will tune in to see it, because it'd be great to see how somebody, because many people say, oh, you can't do both. You have to do one or the other, because you can't put your focus in both. And I've seen it time and time again. Many people can do it, and they have done it. And you're one of the people who are inspirational. So if you are watching it and if you want to do two things, but you are being told, no, you can't, you need to focus on one thing, well, maybe my guy here, if he decides to drop a documentary, he might be able to inspire you even more.
Hey, may or may not be. May or may not be.
Yes, that's the question. May or may not be. You have to read between the lines to see what he means by that. That's all I'm going to say on that subject.
I've been kind of dropping a video here and there for the past 3 or 4 months on, hinting at a project. So, maybe that's that, and maybe it's not. You just gotta follow me on social media and you'll find out, I guess.
Yeah, and again, you can find me on social media on Twitter, DEE_Mounts, and on Instagram, the same username but with a 1 at the end.
Hey,
does somebody take your username of Twitter and used it already on Instagram already? Is that why you had to put the 1 afterwards, or is that to show you are the number 1 in the world? I just killed you.
Man, that's a hard question because I think I made my Instagram a couple well long ago, and I kind of forgot about it, and came back to it, and I was like, hey, I have this going on. Let me try to grow it into, so I can use it on the usage platform as something positive,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But this is not very often we get people walking in the background, so I like that. It's like a newsroom in your house this afternoon.
Oh, yeah.
Because what happened was that lady who came out then came back, and then she looked at you, I think, looked at the camera, and then went and then shut the door and then opened it back up again to listen in. So I like it.
She's trying to spy on me. That's what it is.
Yeah. Because people on Instagram, on your pictures, they know that you've got a family living you as well. So what would it be like seeing your family a lot more? I bet in the past you didn't really see your family that much. I'm going to say I could be wrong, but I mean, how has that been getting used to as well?
Oh, that's been absolutely amazing. I was in Denver prior to this, and my mom was actually living in Orlando, which is an hour and a half away from what I'm living at currently. And so when I got the call that I was going to get drafted to the Tampa Bay Vipers, my mom broke down and cried because she wanted me to move back to Florida. And I haven't been personally back to living in Florida for the past 10 years, So as soon as I left from college, I just kind of been bouncing around and everywhere else but Florida. So it's been fun, but she calls me way too many times and tries to come over way too much. But it's good. That's what a mom does, and I love it. I love her being able to pull up on me whenever. So
yeah, it is. It's definitely good because you're close to your family, and even though you can't see them as much at the moment, but I mean you're able to call them and. Video chat.
FaceTime.
Yeah, we're out of business. All that's new technology. Are you on the old good old TikTok?
Man, I just need to just jump in because everyone's been telling me how good of an app it is and how much fun it is and how they spend hours and hours on it. But no offense to anyone else, but when I think of TikTok, I think of middle school to high school type of things, and I just got to do it. No offense to anyone, I just got to do it.
Yeah.
Just got to get in.
Well, I'm quite old school, so to down people, players, many people have told me to go on it. Apparently, I could come viral on it if I went on it, and I'm like, I don't even know how you use the thing, so I'm not even going to go on it to investigate. So I'm going to keep myself down low key, and keep myself on the best kept secret on YouTube, which is the Edward Fowler Show. And we always ask this question to our guests. And this may be the hardest question for you today, okay? And you may say, I might need to think about this. Okay, this is absolutely fine. So you don't give me an answer right here tonight, but. Who would you suggest me to contact next to come on this show if you've enjoyed yourself here this afternoon? It seems like you have because it's been a very entertaining show between us. I think you and me have got great chemistry. This is great. Yeah. We wanted to. And when we discussed that, it was going to be a great show, and it certainly has been a great show, apart from the technical difficulties earlier on this evening, so I do apologise for, and I do hope that this won't come out in an audio form.
No, this is awesome, man. Thanks for having me on the show, man. This is the best kept secret, just as you say, man, on YouTube. And I've been following your work, and you're doing a great job. And like I said, I'm honored you having me on the show, and I will come back at a moment's notice. If you give me you're very fun to talk to, and I've enjoyed myself. who I would recommend, you have to give me some time on that. You have to give me some time. I would recommend everyone that I personally know. That's how much fun I had personally, and I just got to think that just got to take some time to see who would be good.
Yeah, because we want you to take your time because we don't want you to say a random name. Just to shout out here, and then they, might be busy, and they might decline to come on the show. So I like the answer. So I look forward to hearing from you, to see what he will say and who he suggests me to get in contact with, because you've got a lot of people, a lot of connections, not just in the football world, but in other worlds as well, in agencies as well, with as you said before, marketing and such. Are you allowed to mention the other project you're working on, or is that secretive?
Those two projects, not yet, but I will be. I should be finished with those in the next couple of days. So I'll, if I have the permission, I'll share it on my Instagram. But you just never know until the client gets what they want, and then they give us the terms afterwards. So we'll see. We'll see. If anything, I know I'll probably use a screenshot of it on my website. If you go check it out under projects. I have a lot of the branding contents on that tab, so just go check it out. It's all fun.
Yeah, go check it out today. Support him by following him on his social medias. Follow his business, because his business is on social media as well. And for anyone who wants to follow your business, where can they find it on social media? Because I know it's on social media.
Oh yeah, definitely. So we're on we're on Instagram as Mount Up Media. That's where we keep all of our content, and we will from today going forward as well start updating a lot more, and try to connect with the fans that are following us. So
yeah, because you got a lot of fan base already, and it's going to keep growing and growing for the rest of this year, and hopefully in the coming year as well. And is there anything else as well you would like to mention, which I may not have mentioned? Okay, because you've been on other podcasts. You've been on the XFL own video conference, video podcast on their official page as well. And is there anything you want to mention which I might not mention, which you think is very important, which other podcasters, hosts may have mentioned, but I have not, because I forget. So is there anything you want to mention? Feel free to get off your chest right now.
All right, cool. I just wanted to start off by, thanking the XFL for giving us players another opportunity to follow our dreams and not let them die. A lot of the players, were off the streets and didn't have anywhere to go as far as, as a career. And you guys gave us a platform to showcase our skills nationally, and that's just, it goes without saying that we're extremely grateful, even though it didn't quite turn out like how we wanted to or how we envisioned. We're still all grateful, and, we appreciate it. And, let's hope this thing ends soon and everyone stays healthy. So
yeah, absolutely. Stay safe, stay healthy as well. That's what we need. We need everyone to stay healthy and stay safe, because, that's one way we're going to end this bug virus, you say, as well, which is what we need. So for our viewers as well, we want to know, what do you get up into a typical day then in your routine, and what is your current routine compared to how it was, I don't know, maybe back 4 months ago?
All right, so nothing much has changed other than practice. So I wake up at 5, go on my computer, check my emails. After I brush my teeth and everything, check my emails, start to work on my projects, and then I give myself about an hour to do that. So I kind of split my time up in hour increments, just to help out with productivity. I do at least 2 hours of studying. I bought a couple of courses from MZ Pro and Parker Warbeck's full-time filmmaker. And I do that in the morning, and then I go and train and rehab for 2 or 3 hours, 4 hours, come back, eat. I give myself a 30-minute nap. Sleep is extremely important. And wake up and talk to my marketing team on some plans, and then just carry on the day. And I cut myself off, give myself till 6 p.m. And once 6 p.m. hits, I'm done. And I start playing Call of Duty for a good 4 or 5, 6 hours. So
okay. There we go. Now we know what he does for fun as well. This is great. So he plays from Call of Duty. Which Call of Duty is it? The latest one which came out, and do you play it on your Xbox or PC or PS4, whatever it is?
Oh man, I'm a Sony guy, man. I'm PlayStation 4. You know, I play the latest Call of Duty. I'm pretty good too. I'm pretty good. Always a positive ratio, kill death ratio, so that's a plus. And I've been recently really kind of addicted to Warzone, kind of. So I've been kind of playing that, and not very good at that. You know, always negative. I'm not gonna say.
Well, but as they say, practice makes perfect.
Practice makes perfect. You know, practice makes perfect.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I've been doing on my free time, and you know, watching a lot of anime. That's kind of been like a new thing too, picking up on that. Recently just finished Castlevania on Netflix. If you haven't watched it, hey, thank me later.
Yeah.
So just back to my typical things, just to kill time. You know, and just be as productive as I can.
So he's busy. He's a busy man in the morning to the afternoon till 6 p.m. Then from 6 p.m. onwards, it's time to relax and enjoy life. And that's a great way to live as well, because don't work too hard. Have breaks. Have some fun.
You have to. You'll burn yourself out. You'll burn yourself out.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Definitely.
And I'm guessing you've seen the Tiger King as well on Netflix, have you?
I have. Not proud to call myself an American after that show was broadcast. It was a wild one, man. I'll tell you that. Carol Baskin is hilarious. Those are just some characters on that show. It's it's just that whole show screams Florida. I'll tell you that. Like, I know he wasn't, living in Florida or whatever, but it's just the type of people. It just screams Florida, and I'm from Florida, so I can say that.
Fair enough. Well, again, doing this from Tampa, Florida today. Again, we apologize why we couldn't do this live. Again, the next time we do have you on the show, we will have fixed it. We will have you back on the show again, but definitely. And do let me know as well. Please do let me know your recommendation, your suggestion. Again, you know so many people. Again, we bring on all the best people here on the Edward Fowler Show, from fighters to American football players to celebrities. Again, you're a celebrity. You got a Wikipedia page. Anybody who's got a Wikipedia page I'll be on the show, they are classed as celebrities. And check out my celebrity page here on YouTube.com. In my new playlist, which has got all my celeb interviews from my guy here, D, all the way down to David Pindell, to singer/songwriter Goldilocks, to reporter/author Mywa Diaz Gomez as well, all in that list. Check it out today. It's the best playlist you can find on YouTube. And again, it's been very delightful to have you on, and it's been a very entertaining show and a lot of fun. And again, thank you so much again for your time. Do stay on the phone though, and for more we'll see you from the Edward Fowler Show. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and let me know what you think of today's show in the comment section below. Make sure you leave a like, share to all your football friends, as more people we got on this show from the football world, the better conversations we have, and the more entertaining the show gets with your support as well. And until the next video drops, then enjoy the rest of your day and keep safe out there.